Hello everyone and welcome to Driving Productivity Through Contextual Customer Engagement. I'm Trey Watson. I'm the Senior Vice President of Sales Engineering and Professional Services at Star2Star Communications. I'm very much looking forward to speaking with you guys today. I've got a brief slideshow that we're going to go through as well as a demo. So without any further ado, let's get started. Just a high level of agenda here. We're gonna talk about Star2Star just at a glance. Then we're going to talk about customers and what we here at Star2Star call the new normal. Communications and collaboration. And then we're going to talk through some of the details of the demonstration and how we're working with Workspace with Intelligence. Star2Star at a glance. Star2Star is a 400 plus employee organization. We are 100% channel based. Our customer satisfaction ratings are some of the highest in the industry. 99.65% retention, 99.999 or 5.9s uptime, and we have a 10 plus year average customer term. Additionally, we are VDI ready, focusing on seamless integration, alignment of product with Citrix and Windows Virtual Desktop, as well as an end-to-end solution that we do offer. Lots of customers, 850 plus channel and ISV partners. Again, we are fully indirect and very much looking forward to working with everyone here and what our future opportunities with Workspace with Intelligence are. Customers in the new normal. Let's talk about this a little bit. So our workspace today has changed. The global pandemic has really separated the lines between work and our family lives because of the remote workforce and that having really expanded. Those lines are grayed out now. Secure remote work that provides highly productive and collaborative environments. It's critical to maintaining a competitive advantage for any organization, whether that be a small business or an enterprise business. The competitive advantage in this new world, new way of working is critical. In the past, as Citrix engineers, Citrix developers, we've always talked about natural disasters, the business continuity, disaster recovery, high availability, the things that we provide as Citrix engineers. Those things are all very important, but they are not the top of mind thing today. In fact, the driving factor today is really about remote workforce and enabling that as a day-to-day activity, not just a business continuity activity. In my opinion, we've really begun a revolution. The revolution about how we think about the workforce and the services that we provide to them. We are in a very unique position to capitalize on this market and to really help the businesses that are struggling with solving these problems, whether that be in a cloud collaboration environment, for your small or medium business class, or whether that be in a large private public cloud environment for an enterprise class customer. So with that, I want to take you all through a story. That story is about a sales executive named Brittany, her kids, and her dogs, and what it's like to live in that world today. Brittany is a sales executive with 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a very close relationship with her accounts. She conducts the standard business processes of any sales executive in the world. She's conducting meetings on a regular basis with her account teams. She's talking to prospects. She's talking to existing customers, upselling, adding value. But now her kids are at home and they're homeschooling. And her husband is working from home as well. So she's got all of these other additional distractions that are happening. Her family is settled into this new normal and this new daily routine. But kids are kids and dogs, well, they're dogs. So Kia, her Siberian Husky, is an especially vocal canine who loves to talk to Brittany. And we're going to talk a little bit about how Kia likes to interrupt her very often because she likes to go outside and throw a frisbee. And we're going to talk about how Kia doesn't really understand what's going on, but she does understand that, her mom is home, and when mom's home, they go and throw a Frisbee. How is that going to impact Brittany's daily work life? It's going to have a significant impact. So let's talk about that digital transformation and how Brittany has adopted new ways of working, and we as service providers, developers, ISVs, how we're empowering her to solve the problems that she has. So let's talk about those a little bit. She needs to be engaged throughout the workday, right? She's faced with multiple distractions. And she didn't have to deal with any of these distractions when she was in an office environment. She has to make lunch for the kids some days because her husband has meetings. She has to take Kia outside. She has to answer a school question. She also has to take all of the meetings that she would normally take with her account team. She has to stay on top of the needs and the requests of her prospects. And again, function in all of the normal things that she has to do on a daily basis, but now add the things she would normally do in the evening at home into her daily work schedule. She has to meet her quota. She has to maintain all of her other responsibilities. So, some of the problems that Brittany has. Her tools are spread across multiple systems. Working with them is not necessarily difficult when she's free of distractions, she's in the office, she's working in her normal routine. But now, with all of the other distractions that she has on a daily basis, working from home with her children in the house, how is she dealing with that? These distractions, they're reality now. And I want to talk about how we can help someone like Brittany, whether Brittany worked for an enterprise organization like Citrix or whether she works for a small accounting firm, right? Brittany can't say, sorry kids, I can't help you with your schoolwork right now, because those are her children. And we all know what will happen to Brittany's new carpet that last quarter's bonus bought if she doesn't let the dog out. So how are we going to enable this digital transformation for Brittany? So Star2Star is very unique in the way that we address things. Today's enterprises face a quickly changing business environment characterized by acceleration in cloud adoption and digital transformation, employee productivity challenges, and frankly, changing buyer behavior. In this dynamic environment, unified communications plays a critical part in not only enabling customer engagement and higher employee productivity, but also in eliminating complexity and reducing costs by delivering enterprise-wide cross-functional communication and collaboration. We're going to get into that in a little bit more detail. So starting from left to right, speaking to the integrated communication platform. This is really the core services that Star2Star Communications provides. Voice, video, fax, all of the typical solutions that you would see, chat, file sharing. But specifically, what is unique about Star2Star is all of our products are Citrix Ready verified. Then you have Integration Studio, and this is really where the real power comes from. Then you have Integration Studio, and this is really where the real power comes from. It's a full integration platform as a service, and we provide this service to ISVs. So it's a drag and drop, low code, no code tool that allows you to interact with all of our integrated communication platform, voice, video, text, SMS, all of the platforms. And interaction with those comes through a low code, no code, API-like experience where you can build a custom application, or you can simply build a workflow that integrates to an existing application, such as a system of record that we may choose to use in Workspace with Intelligence. Then moving on, we have Citrix Alignment. So in this context, to enable digital transformation for Brittany works in a Citrix virtual app and desktop environment every day. Her IT staff uses that to simplify management, to reduce administrative overhead, reduce costs, your standard reasons for implementing a Citrix solution. However, in this new environment, their initial models did not account for things like working from home. They did not account for, low-grade internet circuits and how to deal with those things. Now, her IT department was well positioned to be able to address those things because, as we all know, Citrix does a very good job of handling that. But what they couldn't address immediately was the need for simplification and accelerated adoption of these tools, because the data that they use has to remain secure. It has to remain, in a controlled space, intellectual property, all of these things. So what does our alignment with Citrix give us an opportunity to do? It really bridges the product portfolio. So taking the unified communications, voice, video, all of the things that come around a communication and collaboration architecture, and aligning them with the Citrix product portfolio. This allows an accelerated adoption curve. Very, very, very important to maintaining that competitive advantage, the increased ROI, all of the things that the businesses of today's world are monitoring as closely as they can because of the impact that the global pandemic has had upon us. Now, you take those three pillars and you combine them with the fourth pillar, where we can automate business processes. So combining Integration Studio with Workspace Intelligence to pull those two things together, and that's what we're going to show you here in a little while in a demo, pull those two things together and increase Brittany's day-to-day productivity by simplifying her experience and allowing her to focus on the tasks at hand, which improve productivity and by default maintain or increase margin. And again, top line revenue comes right along with that. So now let's talk about how the communications and collaboration platform comes together to drive productivity for Brittany and her experience. So talking about some of the core platform systems. So voice, very non-typical voice over IP solution at Star2Star. We provide a highly reliable, highly secure voice product that allows for multiple paths of entry, multiple paths of ingress, egress, and very specifically our Find Me, Follow Me features and some of our other voicemail features and things of this nature. They're all designed to work across multiple devices or multiple modalities for a single user in order to enable them to always be available. Then moving on to video. So our video collaboration tool is part and parcel one of my favorite tools. Newer, we've recently done a major upgrade on the system. It is completely WebRTC based, using some proprietary systems on the back end, web-based, integrated with browser content redirection from Citrix, as well as other tools to optimize the experience in a Citrix environment. It does have an embedded chat system, lobby features, all of the things that you would expect of any ad hoc, 15 to 25 user collaboration video tool. Some very specific items that we are very, very excited about are the recording function. So the recording function is a standard video recording, but in addition, this function allows you to search based on context, keyword, and then snap to the portion of the video where that keyword may be. So if this video was being recorded by our video product, then you could say, tell me about platform, and it would snap you to the point that we're at here and give you this snippet of video communication. Conferencing, audio conferencing. Very, very large scale, flexes up and down as needed, and is provided as part of our standard collaboration bundles. Messaging. This is your SMS, your text, combining again all of these different modalities of communication. And then under collaboration, we have chat, drag and drop files, all of the things that you would expect in a collaborative environment where you were working across multiple modalities of communication. Fax, it's just expected to be there, has to be there. And Brittany uses fax all the time. That's how she gets contracts in and out with some of her older clients, and some of her newer clients are doing e-signatures. So it's a robust platform, productivity, collaboration, all built into one, and then on top of that entire suite sits Integration Studio. This is what allows for cross-functional collaboration and communications. So cross-functional collaboration and communications, that platform is what enables this capability. So taking all of the core functions and then combining them with our Integration Studio allows for a tremendous increase in productivity. Very, very, very feature-rich integrations. Not just an integration, but an integration with features. If I wanted to understand a customer's interactions with Salesforce and what their pipeline was, as Brittany may have a customer who has a very, very large pipeline, has a very large amount of business, already in place, but is experiencing some technical challenges with the recent product rollout that they had. I want to be able to pull all that information from multiple places, and in Brittany's business, she needs to go into 2 different systems to get that. She gets all the sales information, product ordering, she gets all of that from Salesforce, and then from a proprietary system, she understands the project process of this recent software rollout. Our environment can prioritize that phone call from that user, as you'll see in the demo here in just a moment, can prioritize that phone call from that user and present that to Brittany above and beyond the other calls she may get. So in the demo, we'll really be talking through a lot of details around some of these more key components. We're going to focus on voice just to keep things kind of simple, but this consumer is going to be calling Brittany because they had a recent product rollout. They're calling her from a Skype phone, just for simplicity's sake. And she's going to answer that in her Citrix virtual app and desktop delivered business soft phone, which is our Citrix ready soft phone client from a VDA 1912 specifically, if anyone's interested. And then we're going to be using that to reach out to multiple systems of record to determine information and then provide that information back to Workspace with Intelligence to present that to Brittany as a consumer. So the combination of these 2 things, and again, this is a simple demo, but the combination of these 2 things takes things to an almost limitless experience. So with Integration Studio, I could reach into 3 or 4 or 5 different systems of record, pull data, make decisions based on that data, and move that data back and forth with Workspace with Intelligence to present a notification feed to a consumer, a notification card, or to provide a consumer the ability to take an action to push data into 3 or 4 different systems of record from within my Integration Studio platform here at Star2Star. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and do the demo. So you can see we have an online desktop soft phone and an online Skype for Business. So I'm going to place a call from the Skype for Business phone. That call is going to ring on my Star phone for desktop, but I wasn't able to answer that call. So the caller hung up, and so now I have a missed call. So we're going to see the activity feed pop up here in just a moment. As you all are all aware, this could be up to 15 minutes. So now I have my notification that I have a missed call from Martin Dahlberg. I'm going to call Martin back. Click the action button. You're going to see this ring over here. And then the Skype for Business phone is going to ring. We can answer that call. And now we have successfully connected a call from a missed call notification within our activity feed. All right, so in our demo example, we saw that a missed call was made. So we know that we're here to increase Brittany's productivity so that she can help drive top line revenue for the business, margin retention, so on and so on. So I really want to talk about what have we done for Brittany? What problems have we solved for Brittany? Well, Brittany's meetings, her phone calls, SMS communications, they're all presented in the workspace with intelligence, interacting with multiple devices using AI to learn her habits. So if Martin had used SMS commonly, then an SMS would have been the modality of communication that notification card would have presented. Brittany could in turn have returned an SMS to Martin through our Star Messenger product, which would have popped just like the Star Phone for Desktop in the example demo. Contextual information relative to the task at hand was presented to Brittany. Simple, interactive. This is the thing that we at Star2Star love about the notification cards. We use them heavily in our apps, our micro apps. It's great because it's very, very simple. There's not a lot of decisions for the consumer to make. They just take the action and then they move on. So what is unique about Integration Studio and this solution that we're providing in Workspace with Intelligence? So Integration Studio in the back end had gone into Salesforce, verified Martin, and verified that he was a contact within Brittany's contact list and her accounts within Salesforce, and it presented that information to Brittany. Had he not been listed there, the contact card would have presented some different options that Brittany could have taken in addition to just calling him back. So when she clicked the callback system, the back end of Integration Studio would have written a new contact record into, using the caller ID information, the caller ID number, the caller ID name, would have written a new contact and assigned that contact for need of updating within Brittany's account. If that phone number had been able to be associated with an account, it would have immediately connected that contact to that account. So there's a lot of back-end decisions that we can make as it relates to Salesforce, but simultaneously, if you will remember, she needed to understand about Martin's account and how it related to a recent product rollout that she had. That information is not in Salesforce. So our system with Integration Studio, again, combined with Workspace with Intelligence, our system went into the product project, pulled some information there about Martin, and has now pushed that information back into the system to note that Martin called his account manager, his account executive, to let the product team know that those collaborations need to begin happening. Maybe they want to call Brittany and say, hey, we had a challenge with X, Y, and Z. This is where we're at. This is how we're resolving the problem. Or maybe it's as simple as Brittany taking an action in her action pane to go and look up the details of the account and what's going on. We would have presented an additional card there had that been an appropriate action to take. So we've all come to a point of agreement that distractions are a reality. But with prioritization of tasks at hand, we reduce the interactions with multiple business systems into a single workflow. Combining the fact that Integration Studio can address multiple systems of record and Workspace with Intelligence can provide an AI layer that allows us to learn the user's interaction behavior, those two systems combined allow us to drive productivity to a level that has not been attainable previously without tremendous and complex investment. So one of the things that we talked about is we wanted to talk about how this simplifies the business workflow. We've presented that, but the other thing that I don't want to forget to talk about is how this simplifies the IT administration, the soft cost, and how that impacts revenue and return on investment. So soft cost is impacted tremendously with these two systems because Workspace with Intelligence, while it is a low-code, no-code environment, combined with Integration Studio allows for a literal drag and drop of a standard business process flow. So the data coming from Integration Studio into Workspace with Intelligence is always the same data object with different variabilization. Whereas the data coming from Workspace with Intelligence into Integration Studio could go through multiple workflow paths, leveraging all of the APIs within Integration Studio, and really allows for the best of both worlds, where Integration Studio is handling real-time communication and Workspace with Intelligence is handling notification feed and that AI environment of what is contextually relevant to the end consumer. So I hope this was helpful. I hope everybody enjoyed the presentation. I'm happy to take questions at this point. Please reach out to me in the Slack channel. Looking forward to speaking to all of you. Have a wonderful day.